Hello, I'm Dale, and welcome to my YouTube series, where I try to build and share an app that helps people discover the world. This week, I've been working on updating the profile view. I've added a world map where users can see which countries they've visited, as well as individual country maps, so you can see which regions they've been to. In this video, I'll talk about those changes, iterative design, the volume of work, and some emotional management. Originally, it was supposed to be a video about the UI and website, but since I've made good progress on the profile changes, I'll do that afterwards, since I'd have to include those changes in the website anyway. A popular concept in software engineering and the tech startup space is iterative development. It involves focusing on breaking down things into smaller tasks and releasing small, incremental changes instead of just suddenly releasing a perfect product. Part of the idea is to get the change out as quickly as possible, which lets you get feedback that may help you in designing for the next step. Another perk, in my experience, is that it helps make tasks less daunting and it reduces my emotional investment in any specific change or release. The JourneyPal UI and website are a good example of this. Learning how to create an attractive website and UI is something that I will have to continually improve on while I'm doing this. Here is what the JourneyPal app looked like originally. The blue color is the default for Flutter applications, and little consideration has been given to the aesthetic of the application. Later, I ended up paying one person on Fiverr for UI designs and another person for a logo. The logo, I think, is good. The UI designs were not. So since then I've made small iterative changes to the UI. Things like changing the color, or recently, the map icons. Since the UI has changed, the website and App Store listings need to change as well. I spoke to a friend, Sam, who has experience in marketing through their work. Sam's recommendation was to remove or hide some of the less interesting features from the website, since they don't contribute to why someone would want to download the app. Evidence supporting that theory, for me, is that footers like these seem to be common on every major website. Getting advice like this is very much part of the process and is greatly appreciated. Friend Peter, who has built several successful e-commerce stores, suggested the repeated call to action buttons on the website. My mum suggested adding the watermark to this video. Jamie and Courtney came up with a shared Instagram feature that I built earlier this year that also solved a request my uncle had. The iterative strategy is even more apparent in the code. JourneyPal's already been through 100 versions and releases. A recent change being removing unsupported characters from the ChatGPT API response. There are many unexpected problems and obstacles that I have to overcome to develop this app. Before adding maps this week, I didn't even know there were two countries called Congo. But I'm very happy with how the new profile feature is looking so far. I enjoy visualizing the places I've been, and I think it's cool to consider the different regions in each country that I've yet to visit. I have tried to color code the countries by how much I've explored them. Right now it's just measured by the number of locations visited per country, but maybe that will change in the future. There are other ways I could measure it. I could count the number of localities, or I could try to estimate the amount of time someone spent in a country. Looping back to the emotional aspect of the strategy, sometimes it can be quite demotivating, spending hours building a feature that nobody uses. But I've spent most of my life addicted to RuneScape, and most of my favourite YouTubers will happily spend 100 hours generating content for one 20-minute video. So I try to focus on one small thing at a time, like finishing one video or building one feature. And while I do have some concept of a larger plan, I acknowledge it's very likely to change, and so I try not to emotionally identify with it. This also feels like a contradiction to what I think is the popular image portrayed by solo founders on YouTube. It's almost like the opposite of manifestation. JourneyPal is available for free now. Download link is in the description.